Hi, everybody. My name is Sandra McEllis. I'm the host of Keep It Spiritually Simple. And today we have another real treat for you. We got round two with Kristine, and she's going to talk to you about a lot of stuff that's going on. But in the meantime, we don't want you to miss any episodes. So you need to take this finger and hit like, subscribe, share. Feel free to leave a comment, question, concern. Maybe we can answer it for you on the next show. Welcome, Kristine. What's going on in your world?
Sandra, oh man, I'm so happy to be here. What's going on in my world is
Well,
sometimes it's
your world is the world.
yeah, as I say, because sometimes it's a lot because I'm very connected to the collective field,
Yes.
the quantum field. So, in general, I have a lovely life, but sometimes I can feel, well, let's make it more accurate. Oftentimes, I feel all the different dimensions and all the different delight and sorrow and all of humanity, basically, and then the galactics. And so I used to think that was something that I needed to correct. Now I just know it's my operating system.
So, do you feel with that operating system over time, it has just calibrated because you've learned to bob and weave with it? Because, I've talked about this before. The energy comes in and we need to allow ourselves time to adjust. And adjustment means self regulate, and it may regulate on a way that your brain doesn't understand it, right? Because your body's doing one thing, your brain's telling you another. But we have to calibrate by hitting self regulate, and then it kind of hits autopilot. Do you feel like you're a little bit more on autopilot? Because what you just
I
described to
think I'm
me
more
is
practiced.
overwhelming.
I'm more practiced at it and I don't judge it. I can't say I never wonder what the heck am I doing? Like, why is this feeling like this today or that or this minute? But I'm able to align and attune to it better and stay in a place of coherence and balance most times. I'm still very human,
Yeah.
of course, as we all are, and that's a good thing. Some people think it's a bad thing. I just think it's a thing. I think that's why we're here, to be human. But I've had to learn, like you said, you have to take the pause, slow down the nervous system, slow down the mind. Sometimes just put the mind, like I used to think my mind is like, just put it like a little elf on the shelf, just for now. I still need you for lots of things. But the monkey mind and the running and the constant, just well, my mind would just go from one thing to, I start here and I'd be 1,500 miles away in a different thought. So I've had to learn like, just, it's okay. It's okay to have the thoughts, but what thought do I want to have? What's my highest and best? What makes my life most delightful? Really easy to get stuck in the gunk. I've spent a lifetime of doing that. No longer care to do that. But I'm aware now when there's something coming in or when I'm witnessing. I'm better at witnessing and not having to feel things, but I still feel a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I know things can be random. My kids used to always say, Mom, you're so random. You're so random. And then I used to have to start saying, wait a second, hold up. No, it's been ricochet rabbiting for quite a while up there. So before it hits my lips or comes out in any way, shape, or form, it's already been here. So it's not random to me. So bounce with me, but don't make comments like that because it's already there, right? And I love it when I can get together with people that go random. Like we can be talking about one thing and then we go off to another thing. And then a half an hour later, it's like, oops, let's go back to this one thing. I'm like, yeah.
It's like I always felt like I was pulling it out of a ticker tape. Oh, there's all this information, and people would have a hard time following me sometimes. But like you said, it's already there. You process it instantaneously, almost whatever your thought is, or their thought, or whatever the conversation is. And I could carry 5 or 6 different conversations and still be mentally and emotionally stable. It wasn't,
Mm-hmm.
but it's how we work.
Mm-hmm. You may look like you're glitching, but you weren't.
It's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But you weren't.
I've had my glitchy moments too. So
Yes, witchy, glitchy. That's right. That's right. Well, so let's for the audience talk real quick. Kristine has a lot of guide teams that come through. So sometimes she'll talk, into the camera. Sometimes she'll turn away from the camera. Um, Energy has to move through the body. So that's why you'll see me in my chair like this, because it just allows me to soothe the energy that's coming through, because sitting still can be very painful when you have a lot of energy coming through. So as Kristine kind of tunes into some things that are coming up that are important, um, if you're listening to the show, you may hear a few pauses, but if you're watching the show, you'll get it on YouTube. So yeah, let's talk about what's happening right now, Kristine, and what the teams are saying, and how can we maneuver with as much grace and ease in
There's a
this
lot going
upcoming
on right
time.
now.
Mhm.
I've got 7 collectives here right now. And the angelic realm, the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Orions, the Venetians, Sister of the Rose, so a couple, a collective of the ascended masters, the whales and dolphins are here. They like to come in together. So that's just, it's like a symphony of, how do I want to say that? It's a symphony of, it's all going to be okay. They all put it into English. It's like we are going through some very, they stop my language often because my English or our English, our human language doesn't match the vibration often. And we don't want to, we want to acknowledge what is occurring. When I say we, I'm talking my voice is their voice. Um, we acknowledge and we witness and we understand all the differences that all the experiences that are taking place on planet Earth right now. We don't always want to put a pin in it though. We don't want to imprint more. We don't want to add to the imprint, might be the phrasing. But we are here to uplift, support, guide, activate, and walk with you. We walk through dimensional fields together. And most of you listening understand that you're multidimensional. And what we are witnessing, and Kristine is helping us witness because she has eyes on the prize, we could say, is the need to embody your essence, the need to embody the wisdom, the need to embody your multidimensionality and the magnificent, again, we're using multiple soul aspects. You call them soul aspects, lived experiences of the soul in any dimension, time, space, reality, or anywhere on this planet that you call Earth. And so what we are witnessing is a shift in your galaxy, your planetary system, into one of more awareness. You call it awakening, but we call it more awareness, more cohesion, more understanding of the shared space, physically and non-physical. And we are witnessing it feels like it sounds like a circus, the cacophony. I think that's the right way to say that word. But it's the it's like that slide. Gosh, it's different instruments, but it's like the whistle that goes woo. The slide whistle, I guess they call it. Yeah. So they're saying some are just all over the place, and that's perfectly fine. And some are very focused, and some are walking into this earth energy, the fire energy of action and embodiment. Do you have a question, dear one, they say, or comments? And I'll go back and forth between talking through the collective and talking to me. And it's easier when you see me because you might understand it. So
Yeah, get over to YouTube, Sandra McEllis, and you'll be able to see it live. No, I just have this overwhelming calm of just the vibration of the message that you're bringing through. And, lots of times we hear messages and our mind wants to level it out. But sometimes when we're in our spiritual universe here, as a student, we need to take those words to the side and just focus on the feeling, because the words will come into rhythmic understanding when it's ready.
yeah,
So does that make sense? That just came through.
yeah.
So I don't know that I have a question. I think I want to let this group that is here present and gracing us. So thank you for all that. And thank you for using your instrument to share these messages. So I am just going to be quiet and just listen as our listeners are.
And they're going to come in a minute, but they're asking me to share something that I've witnessed with sessions with people. And I often work as a medium. I just show up as people need me. But often they want me to be medium and connect to people that they love and are out of the physical body. And for sure, the last year, if not the last 2 or 3 years, sometimes the people that they want to connect with, like I just had this absolutely amazing conversation with this daughter of a father who had passed in his 80s. They just want to be felt. It's not even the words. They want me to kind of be the vessel so the person I'm working with can just feel the tremendous love coming through. And that is 1,000 times more powerful than if I could give them a paragraph. Or dad always says, let's go fishing, or whatever dad may say, or whoever your loved one is. So that is how I work with the galactics. That's how I work with the collectives. I get a feeling and a knowing, and it's always coming through love. Now, they all have a different tone, maybe. Some are more practical, some are more emotional, but there's this engagement and this a fullness. And we're being called to shift, if we need to shift identities, to have a fuller embodiment of our essence, our light body. So this time, February 2026 is a really good opportunity to start dropping things that no longer serve us. And we've been doing it for a long time, right? But to state clearly, what am I willing to do to live my best life? Like what's one action I can take? That's something they'd like to offer to people to think about. And don't go too, they're saying we don't need to tell you how to do it. We're just asking you to be curious about it. Some of you may have one thing, some of you may have 10 things, but they're having me look at your sign, Sandra. Keep it spiritually simple. Keep it simple. Don't overthink it. What's your first inner knowing? We are here to bring clarity to the human mind that gets so muddled and so overly stimulated. And when you understand, when you allow, they're going to use the word allow better. When you allow a pause in your life and a serenity, they're going to say slowness, but when you allow serenity to be part of your everyday vernacular, that it's really all okay. Even your worst moment doesn't last forever. There's wisdom in everything we experience. And as you become more relaxed being human, you start to see the beauty of each experience. Maybe not every single thread. Most humanity's not at the point where they can see every single octave and every thread of experience as beautiful and glorious. The soul does. The soul is excited about every single experience. And on a personal level, I'm very happy, sometimes maybe not to the level of excitement. Let's put it this way, I'm very grateful that things are as messy as they are right now for some people and for the world in general, because it can finally be looked at, witnessed, say no more. Whether it's a job you don't like, a person you live with you don't like, clothes you don't like, or something on the bigger scale around the world that we're getting a lot of information coming out that we've seen for a very long time. And and I want to remind people, you've done the work. You've raised your vibration. You've done all the work that we've done in the last 20, 30 years about mindfulness and trauma and being present and all the things, empowering ourselves, whichever way you do it. It brought us to this choice point. It brought us to this point where we can allow our life bodies to come into our physical body, and can allow some of the, deception to be brought into the light of truth. Yeah.
That is very powerful.
And we would like to do, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
They would like to bring in some an attunement for people, kind of balance and harmonize. And whoever's listening, wherever you're listening, and I'm just watching them all gather. So each person listening now, or as we're recording this or later, your teams are gathering behind you. So I see like a circle around us, and then each person has, multiple beings behind them, physical, non-physical, elementals, animals, earth, moon, all the benevolent light beings that you work with. Some you've been introduced to, some you have not. But as we gather, your nervous system is being looked at individually, whether it's Susie, Mark, or Tom, or Carol, whoever's listening. We are kind of the conductor, they're saying, and then whatever needs to be adjusted, balanced, harmonized in your nervous system will be brought to you through this activation, harmonization we're bringing through at this moment right now. In the immediate, we are removing any flicker of ungratitude. Wherever there's less than gratitude for an experience or an expression of yourself. And for some people, it looks like, a tree trunk width. And for some people, it's like the width of a hair. And for some people, it's just a tiny little dot. It does not matter. There's no comparison here. And as she's talking, we're still doing the work. We're just giving you an example. We're just giving you some information in her tongue so that you can understand what we're doing. Some may feel movement. Some may feel hot, cold. Some may feel nothing. That is automatically aligning with what your physical field can hold, the way you operate, and the way what we could say makes most sense to you. So just lean in, relax. Oh, and one other thing, some of you may fall asleep. Some of you may need to move a lot. Some may need to leave on the floor, and most importantly, get some fluids in you. Water is preferable in your body throughout the day, because this is a massive activation and coherence coming in through many of our, like I said, there's 7 collectives here, 2 more coming in, 9 collectives coming in. The unicorns are coming in. This is also activating more of your gifts, skills, and abilities, whoever you may be, and bringing you into your what we would call the talent space. We can see that many of you will be giving new opportunities for the expression of yourself, the expression of your soul self in your physical form over the next coming months, the next 12 to 18 months. Be willing to follow the spirit, your spirit, into your next best expression of self. We will close now. We will be complete, but this activation, this energy is a continuous flow for the next 36 hours. Kristine can hold this space quite adequately, and she'll just hold the space. And if you would like to have up to 36 hours, you say yes. If you would not like to have it as long as 26 hours, you are in charge of what is brought into your energy field. Yes, you are in charge of what is brought into your energy field. Just like you're in charge of who comes into your house. You get to say yes, and you get to say no. But this is offered through our love and through our compassion for you. And now we are complete. Hope you're on mute. That's okay.
We're going to post this out tonight.
Oh, lovely.
That's what I was making a note of, because I think right now we've gone into the year of the fire horse. And so we're in this end of the snake into the beginning. And I think that this transmission is a perfect time to be shared immediately. That's what I was hearing. So it was like, nope, this one has to go.
Wonderful. And it's the end of a 9-year completion. I've done a lot in 9 years. Is individual, globally, professionally, in all ways, things are coming to completion. Some people kind of pre-wave, have started kind of a new year in July, June or July, kind of pre-waving. Some aren't really stepping until May or June. It's all okay. Times are relevant, but the energies supporting it have shifted because we're in a different place.
Yeah. And, I'm feeling like, for the, especially since pre 2020, a lot of people didn't have these thoughts and feelings of awakening and showed the truth and everything. And then once 2020 forward happened, it was, get out there and show all the deceit and let's get the good fight. And who cares if we have a civil war where, my side's going to win. And, it's come to a lot of this very masculine, disrupted, dysfunctional energy of trying to prove what's right and what's not. But, my point of this is there's so much being revealed now, but it's been a gradual reveal
Mhm.
because too much too quick is too much to the nervous system. And
It
it's
blows you out.
individually, collectively, to Mother Gaia, etc. It's too much, and it's too
Mhm.
much for our higher brothers and sisters. And when I say higher, more evolved, right? Um, for them to help try to contain and work with that energy when it's all over the place. So it's been a gradual release so that we can calibrate and figure out how to regulate. And a lot of the information that is coming out is really not going to be new to many people. Maybe some aspects of it might be, but you have to ask yourself, do I really need to know that, all the details? Because it's a big distraction to um, the spiritual plateau that you would wish to stand on, that you desire to step up onto. So we're shedding a lot of that. And it's kind of, I feel like it's kind of spilling over a little bit into the year of the fire horse, because it's gonna kind of gallop and then it's gonna take off, and a lot of it's just gonna be, but we're talking about multiple different truths that are appearing, and one of which is the revealing of who we actually are individually and collectively, and why we're here, and maybe more of our planned purpose of multiple lessons that we've asked to come in to learn. But and then also I think the open communication, we're going to find a lot of those barriers being released, so communication is received, not just with each other and the humans, but with our non-human family, friends, ancestors, aunts, uncles, cousins, of all family origins, because we're
Mhm.
all related, we're all one, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. A long lineage, a long history through many, many universes. Yeah.
Yeah, because what happens is if too much truth comes out too quick, it depresses people. Like, I can't handle it, so they shut things down. And that's not what um, you know, the realms above us want. We will calibrate and we will get past it, but there's no reason to do the shock therapy.
It's like
That's what I
overloading your
just heard.
electrical system. It eventually
Yeah,
it'll,
yeah,
it loses
yeah.
connection.
You don't need the shock therapy. You
And
just
everybody
don't.
has a different, maybe, I don't know if it's a soul theme or different interest, but there is a purpose to having um, whatever your truth be revealed, because then you can see what's true about you too. So it's also letting go of truths that really weren't your truths. They really
Yes.
weren't. They were, we've worn these different masks, or different. We've aligned with different programs to fit into a family or to fit into things, and we're seeing that that's no longer necessary. We don't even need the stories. Many times, somebody asks me something, I said, "Well, that's not really important. Let's, it depends who I'm working with and where they're at. But stories are interesting, but it's about evolution, being more aware.
Hmm.
It's an individual role. We have to go inward. So it's
Yeah, and
not,
we know people that get stuck in that loop of they can't get past something that occurred. It could have been, I really wanted to go to this party and a snowstorm arrived, and 10 years later they're talking about, and I really wanted to go to that party, but this snowstorm happened. So they're in this victim
yeah,
mentality, perpetrator victim type thing. Someone has done something to me, and that's a truth that of a program that's going to dissipate as well. So we're going to learn to take responsibility for where we are in this now moment, not just all the ways we got here,
right.
right? So
Yeah,
the
that's part of the
blame
evolution.
game. Mm-hmm.
That's evolution of humanity, going through these kind of denser fields, blame, shame, not taking accountability, responsibility. As you evolve more, it just becomes a natural way of being,
Mm-hmm.
that I own what I've done, haven't done. Don't blame anybody else. Forgive, all the things that we've talked about. But yeah, I feel like we're in a very good spot in this limited time. And again, they who are with us are being very specific with my wording so that people hear what is being brought forward, and that it's such an expansive time right now. You do get to decide where your actions are right now. Don't look outward. I mean, you're listening to us talk, but we're giving guidance. We're not giving dogma. We're not telling this is the only way you have to do something.
Mm-hmm. And then sharing, your attunement that you all just shared with us really helps us to clear the pathways that have been blocked that keep us from truly feeling gratitude, the real feeling of gratitude, because there's been multiple levels of it, but I don't think we've ever truly gotten to the bliss and the joy and the gratitude and the appreciation to this real gut visceral feeling for no reason. It's like all of a sudden, whoa. And so these attunements that you all have offered, we thank you so very much for bringing that forward through
Oh,
Kristine.
deep gratitude back. And, when I hold it, Kristine, I always get tear when I go into bliss or gratitude or joy. It just, it's overwhelming. And I want to remind people too that you have your own instrument, you have your own attunement. We like to come through as a collective because we're working with a very, very big group, but you came with your own a toner, and your vocal box is your biggest healer. So, and you can hear multiple octaves in there, or sing happy birthday, or sing hello to your dog. Like, it doesn't matter, but use this instrument. It expands your vibration, it clears the field. You don't have to be a practitioner to know all the little tricks and tools of how to exchange, transform energy, but use what the divine gave you. It can be clapping your hands, it's movement and sound. Brings you
Yeah,
into
it
the
can
heart.
be something humming to a song and then making up your own words to it. I know I do. And it's
Mhm.
interesting because I came in as a vehicle that has a lot to say and a lot to share. But I have a vocal cord abnormality where only one vocal cord functions. So if anybody knows anything about your vocal cords, they come together in different places to make the sounds and to bring forth letters, words, whatever, vocals. It's when nobody's voice sounds exactly like it's your own unique, blueprint. And so it's interesting because now when I sing a song and I go in my head, well, that might not have sounded very good to all of you, but to me, it sounds amazing because I could do it without breaking up my vocals, So I've had to learn how to really work my vocals, and that's clearing that fifth chakra. That's connecting the heart to the upper realms, because we all get so blocked up here from multiple lifetimes of trauma. So any kind of toning, singing A-E-I-O-U, singing to a song on the radio, it's a vibrational release between cardiopulmonary, chakras, whatever you want to call it. It gets the blood flowing and it
Gets
raises that vibration to happiness.
Yeah. And you may need to do it 1,000 times a day. Some of those people,
Right.
there's a lot of seconds in a day.
Yeah.
So make the most of it. You get to
Mm-hmm.
decide. Now that
Yeah.
you're aware of things, you get to like make it work.
Mm-hmm. Now, in the beginning, everybody knows I don't rehearse anything. I don't look at websites. I don't study who I'm going to be talking with. It's all intuitively brought on. But just as we were about to hit record, Kristine, you had said that patience was a word that
Mhm.
was really coming through, and I said let's talk about that, um, because we could certainly use a lot of that. And sometimes if we just give each other gentle reminders, patience, patience, let this unfold, because
Yeah.
we want to get in there and control and navigate
Yeah.
and take the wheel. And sometimes we just need to,
You-
let me just see, are all my tires balanced?
and the soul has big plans. And so there's the quantum field where it's like that, and then to bring it down here in a physical form can take some time. But even just like your daily routine, patience. It's okay. Not, it's like we're not on fire all the time. It's slowing it down. And in that moment of, they're using that word serenity again. Oh, that's my best. Not better. That's my best. Even this morning, my cat was getting really agitated because the energies are really kind of, in some instances, very frenetic right now as we're expanding. And I even told her, I said, patience, honey. I think I was trying to get a cup of tea and I needed to put her down for a couple minutes because I didn't have four hands. And I just said, patience. And she looked at me like, oh, okay, I remember that now.
Mhm.
So patience about allowing, allowing this wonderful transformation that our not only our bodies but our culture's going through. Our it's body. It's all body right now. What I'm sensing is we have to be patient with the shifts and changes in the body and not get frustrated when I just hear there's going to be a lot of shifts and changes in the body next 2 or 3 years because of the light body DNA changing. And so they're showing me like it might have worked yesterday. Like you might have had great strength in your right arm and today it feels a little wonky. It's going to work itself out. There may be times where you need to do something physical to do it, but that's where the patient comes in. Oh, what am I doing? It's this rush, rush, rush that we're trying to get people out of because that's survival. You're on heightened alert all the time. So practicing patience lets you listen better, lets you talk clearer, lets you communicate, lets the intimacy between all the species, the person you're in front of, walking by a tree, if you're not in a rush, you're mm, mm. They're saying we use the word patience, but there's also other vibrations included in that. It's kind of landing. We need to land in the physical body. There's patience as there's you need to be patient with your other person or people you're with because we're not all in the same, we've got this bandwidth from A to Z. Not everybody's singing the same tune, but we're all in the same symphony. So if somebody else isn't understanding or maybe isn't in step with you, it's okay. But you can be patient and say, isn't that interesting? We're experiencing similar dynamics in this dimensional field, but they're not exactly the same. And is that okay? The patience allows you to see a different point of view. It's not a wrong point of view, it's just a different experience. It allows us to get through the righteousness and things that we've been experiencing. And so when we use the word patience, it's about slowing it down and not going right to whatever your go-to was. It could have been rush, rush, rush. I got to get things done. I got 16 things on my list, or I go right into anger or frustration, or maybe I go right into shutting down. So patience, another word for patience we're saying could be the pause.
So I'm hearing physical unwinding.
Yes.
So is
Yes.
this part of what we are talking about? Is it because so many things are stored in the physical body that some of these filters need to be cleansed out, and they can come in the form of joint, back, stomach, ovary, neck,
Every system in the
whatever it
body,
is.
every cell is overloaded. Every cell in our body is overloaded with toxins, information, joy, but that kind of gets squeezed out a little bit. But there's so much that needs to be expressed physically through the mitochondria, through all the things that make us human, but we store a lot in there that no longer is helpful to us. And we are getting wiser in what we ingest and what we ingest thought-wise and what we ingest nutritionally. And the two are they're showing like the trajectory followed. So there was a point in humanity where we had to make a decision how we would evolve. And for a while we made a collective decision to evolve through technology and not through compassion and humanity. And then our food system followed that. So it followed like I want to say the toxicity of thought, but really it's the denial of self. When you deny yourself and deny your soul's inspiration, there there becomes a distance between each person. And then we quit listening to the body. And this happened not overnight, but we're going back into a place where we have to, the word reverence keeps coming in for me. We have to revere the body, this vessel that we asked for, that we helped create. The reverence, the dedication, the devotion to self. We have to give it, we have to give this body that we have, yes, celebration, but we have to give it opportunity to shift and change, because there are monumental shifts and change coming. You can't create a body from conception to birth. It takes some time. So we're all creating new bodies, light bodies, but also our physical bodies are changing. And as I change mine, that helps the generations change. But I can, like, you can witness. It kind of looks like Pac-Man. I don't know why I didn't really play video games, but it kind of looks like Pac-Man, as the cells are like, the cells are creating new patterns. That's what they're telling me. So we're creating new patterns in the body, going back to the original divine blueprint, but it's also at a different consciousness level and different vibrational level than when it was first created.
So is that why many have already pre-started with a lot of the physical aches and
Yeah.
pains and almost debilitating, crippling, like what the heck is happening? I didn't have this yesterday and look what I have now. It could be anything that has to do with the physical.
A
So,
lot. I'm
so,
witnessing that a lot.
so some of us who started earlier, we get to finish earlier.
I hope so.
Oh, patience. Hold up.
Patience.
Hold on a
Patience,
second.
yeah.
Let me get that off the shelf. I need some more patience.
I'm gonna
Well,
sprinkle it on, right? Yeah, but
yeah, I'm gonna
my
guzzle
body's
it.
gone through tremendous changes too,
Mhm.
and surprisingly, I'm working
Yeah,
on it. Yeah.
I feel like some of mine are just starting to level a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, but while you all are talking about the physical body, I'm thinking of people like I take exercise classes and stuff, and many people are just very disconnected to what their body's doing, right? And whether it's yoga, Pilates, weights, anything, body mechanics are off, everything's off until you look in the mirror and go, oh, holy moly, I had no idea I was coming way over my knee, or
Yeah.
I look like that. I thought I looked like this. Um, so what I was hearing was many people just go through the motions instead of going into the motion.
Yes.
And right now, with the physical doing what it needs to do, it is more important now than ever to start paying attention to your body mechanics and the motions in which you are using this vehicle, whether it's reaching for something. Are you using your body mechanics to protect yourself? If you're going into a yoga pose, are you actually going into the pose, or are you just doing the pose? And so I'm kind of hearing that right now. So do you have anything to say on
We
that?
follow you. We're saying this is very important. It goes again, it goes into awareness. Where's your hip place? Where's your knees place? When you're running, when you're walking, when you're reaching, it's this, we've been mindlessly, they're underlining mindlessly. We've not had the mind and body connected and the spirit and body connected. We're now starting to recognize the value of being fully connected at all times to the best of our abilities, because we're learning this. And for many, it's been very hard to be in the body, either through it feels better to be out or disconnection, but also the last 3-4 years, the body feels uncomfortable for many. Even those people who stayed in the body, because there's so much shifting and change. It's not always age related. It's vibrational shifts,
Mm-hmm.
joints, things like that. So we have to be more, it's intentional. We have to be intentional with our body, just as we're intentional with careers or other things. Like, we have to bring the focus back to center, which is our human form, and give it the attention that it needs. And sometimes it is standing in front of the mirror or having someone witness you how you're doing something. It's, in a way, we're almost relearning how to use the form, because we've
Mm-hmm.
just been on a fast track. And then we wait for something to go wrong and then correct it. And now it's like, oh, that's the pause, that's the patience.
Yes.
I don't
And
run a marathon, but people who run a marathon, they tell me there's steps to take, right?
yes, got to build up.
Yeah, so it's this, it's the connection where we're reconnecting the spirit to the body.
Yeah, and I was hearing you're allowing your patterns that are already set rule So
Yeah.
you're running on autopilot with already having patterns set in their ruling. So I was hearing it's time to repattern.
Yeah.
First I heard the word reverse, and then it was like, no, not reverse it, because
Pattern.
that sounds like you got to go back and undo. But you're going to repattern by consciously going, are both my feet faced in the same direction? Are both my knees faced in the same direction? Um, you know,
We're going to update because we'll always have patterns. We'll always have behaviors.
yes,
We're not eliminating that. They even show me if you knit, sometimes you have to take out the bottom row if it's incorrect because the pattern, you're not following the pattern you want. So we get to now create new patterns. We're just jumping on what Sandra said is that we get to now witness what's not working because of how it feels or how it looks, but now we get to create new patterns. Is it blue, blue, red? Or blue, red, purple? Like we get to decide according to according to the body mechanics. So we're just reiterating what Dear One said.
yeah, I was hearing loud and clear. We're redistributing weight.
Yes. Oh,
All weight. That's physical,
yeah.
mental,
It's
emotional,
mentally.
etheric, known, unknown.
Yeah.
Because lots of times we can mimic something that might look like a physical injury, but it was actually an emotional injury, and you had no idea that you pulled your shoulder in during that time of whatever that was. And then now all your life, you've been walking around with an inward shoulder. And now it's
Mhm.
time to take a look at that and to know that you're safe. And then you can let that unwind
Yeah. And we've
and
carrying a
release
lot of
it.
weight.
Yeah. So redistribute
Okay.
weight was coming through.
That's the balancing and the harmonization, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
The body's
so
really important that we
much.
pay attention.
So
Yeah.
much.
And like you said, emotion and motion. If
Mhm.
emotions are expressed, they get stuck in the ability to move. The motion gets compromised.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm just seeing where I can bank my own patience, right? Like you can't, I always said if it was sold in a store, the shelves would be empty because I would have bought it all.
Mhm.
Seriously. But you can't give someone else patience. It's something
No.
that you must learn. And so I was seeing like Sandy just maybe be overly patient about something and just put it in a jar, put it over there. So when you start to feel something, you can take the jar down and go, I need a little bit of
Yeah.
this.
Right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then also in doing it ourselves, that energy starts to change.
Hmm.
And then the people, persons and things around us also start to change because we ourselves have stepped into that position of taking on and choosing the patience.
The field becomes wider, like the platform's bigger for more people to step into. It's like, oh, this is actually available to me now.
Yes.
This is what patient looks like. This is what it feels like. Oh, I recognize that tone, even if you're not tuned in the same way. It's like, oh, I recognize that. Patient.
Yes.
Yeah. And the trees are reminding me, they are very patient.
Mm-hmm.
And there are moments when we're looking at all different parts of nature. Um, according to what needs to be moved, there can be force, but mostly nature's patience. Say, look at a mountain, look at a boulder, look at a river, look at a stream. We don't think in time. We do not think in moments. We think in eras. And if we need to create something, um, one of the collectors saying, think how messy it would be if everything was formed all at once. We had to have patience to let earth catch up to the vibration. Like there's patience and beauty in living. And when you rush through things, you miss most of the beauty and you definitely miss the joy.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting here and I'm having a good chuckle in my brain because, at some point in my life, I would find things like gnats, mosquitoes, and flies as being very annoying
Yeah.
and very persistent. And later I started looking at them that they had a lot of patience because they would come back and 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 hover and hover and hover and annoy. And you could switch, they go away, come back, go away, come back. And so I didn't look at it as annoying anymore. I looked at it as, wow, you have a lot of patience, you
Wow, that's
know?
so cool.
Yeah. And then I would say, but this is off limits.
Yes.
You need to disperse.
Yes. We each have our own field, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Because if not, I'm going to start clapping my hands and I don't want to harm things I don't need to
No,
harm. They're just
no.
doing what they do,
Hmm.
right? I just don't
Yeah.
want it
They're
to do
being
it
a,
to me.
yes, right.
Yeah, so it's like I find that. And I never found bees annoying, and this past summer they all started landing on me. They would just come. I would open up my car door and there would be one there like greeting me. I could be in a parking lot, park my car, and all of a sudden one's on the windshield and I'm just having a conversation. And or I could be sitting out back and close my eyes. And we had those big carpenter bees that used to,
Mhm.
oh my gosh, those things can scare you. And I went, you know what? I'm going to look up those little things. I
Yeah.
started looking up that they would never sting you, and they protect each other, and that they will come up and they're examining you, and that sometimes they want to get you out of the way by being
Yeah.
territorial. So I used to say, hey, we're going to commune together. So every time I went outside for the last 3 summers, I was having a blast. I felt naked when they weren't around, because I'd be like, and I would have my eyes closed and I could feel zzz right there.
Yeah.
And I just open my eyes and look right out and go, hello, and close. But then bumblebees and the yellow, not yellow jackets, but the yellow bees, I guess, they just
Yeah.
started landing
Honeybees.
on me. And in the beginning, I would say, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to change my energy of fear so you get startled and sting me and lose your life. You're welcome to stay there. Just do not sting me.
Mhm.
And it's probably best that you touch down and get back off
Yeah.
so I don't have a reaction because I'm
Yeah.
human.
Yeah.
So everything, trees, everything has their own set of patience.
Yeah, and they're all conscious. I love that you mentioned bees because I I watch my grandchildren on Mondays. I watch my 4-year-old grandson, and he loves nature. He always wants to pick things up and help him move across the street or whatever. And last year we're sitting in our flower garden, and he wanted to pick up a bee or do something with the bee. He wanted to like contain it. He's like, I just love it so much. Like, yeah, but we don't do that. He said, but I want it to, be with me. I said, well, let's just sit here and just let him know that you're safe and that you would like to have time with them. I might probably use my 4-year-old words here, but basically within like 2 or 3 minutes, they were landing on him. And he got to witness them and speak to them and be with them. And he learned, oh, I don't need to like interfere because my desire is to kind of like smother you.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But it's like, no, they get to be a bee and you get to be the 4-year-old and you have this wonderful communication. So he's learning, like, he's actually learning I need to ask permission from the caterpillar if I'm going to pick it up and move it out of the road because I don't want to get hit by a car. So he's learning, and I would say he's probably not even learning. I may be reminding him in his human form, everything has a consciousness and everything has the ability to say yes or no. And that we
Mm-hmm.
get to like, we have our space. Like this morning I had a bug. It's nice here in Minnesota. We've had 50-degree weather, so the bugs are starting to come in. It's going to get cold again. So I keep taking them in little cups and I put them back outside. I said, you need to not be in here because this is my environment. I prefer not to have you in here. And eventually, as the new crop comes in, they start to learn that this is
Yes.
my space and this is yours. I will not harm you, but I prefer you not live where I'm living.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And they have a higher form of intelligence that we're not even aware of.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so bringing that into our awareness, as we talked about in the beginning, is really important, because expansion is all about awareness.
Mhm.
And then you make different choices through that awareness because the understanding is there. And with understanding, it brings forth some compassion.
Yeah. That's the awakening, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been in slumber for a little bit, but that's okay.
So
Eyes wide open.
does the team want to bring forth any more before
Yeah.
we kind of go into a little bit about my own session with you?
Yeah. They just wanted one tremendous gratitude. And they're just telling me people may feel it in their pectorals or in your breast tissue because there's an expansion of self-compassion occurring right now, as that was part of the activation that came through. So ishtikoro kushtikishtakataya, kishtikitaro kushtoko karakishtakataya, nashtukor kutushtikataya, kishtiko kishtakarashtakata. We are sending honor and grace, and of course, our patience. We are very aligned. We are invested in the sanctity and the sacredness of the human form. We have been partners. You must recognize that when we say the human form, there is a spark of each of our nations, each of our sensibility, each of our consciousness resides in your human form. We are not separate, we are one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for visiting and coming through, Kristine. I'm so grateful.
I appreciate that.
So I wanted to share with the audience that last time I had you on, I thought, anyone that comes on the show is invited by spirit, and then they figure out a way to get you invited. And again, I didn't really know what you did or you do, and you talked, and then we decided to bring you back on, and then I thought, you know what, let me have a session with you, and then let's talk about that for a quick second. I have no idea what to expect, right? And so we came on the session, and interesting enough, I step out of the way because my agenda may not be the agenda in which my guide team would like for me to know in this now moment. So just before the session, because I didn't know what was going to happen, I think I had written down something like increase pathways of communication and maybe something else. And I thought, all right, well, if I do ask a question, maybe it'll be about that. But in the meantime, Kristine brought through my father, and she said, is he in physical or non-physical form? I said, well, he's in physical form. And of course, I'm completely neutral about everything. And she went in to talk, my father went on to talk about, he came in to this world maybe not equipped to handle things in certain ways, and so on and so forth. And at the very end of his communication, it was about forgiveness. And I never told this to Kristine yet, but I wasn't all surprised that he came through, right? On a higher conscious level, because he's probably sitting at his house watching a baseball game and rerun or something, right? And so the week before this occurred, I was in conversation with my father from my house, and I was like, Dad, I think, you could have been more compassionate and understanding. Your temper was ridiculous. Your criticism was ridiculous. Your physical abuse was ridiculous, although it was never towards me. It was towards other siblings, right? And so I was in conversation with him saying, but you knew better as a grown man. Just because you were anxiety about something, you just can't reach out and like a 2-year-old and throttle the person next to you, right? And so I was in that conversation with him, and I said, but whatever it is that created that with you, I forgive you. I said, but I think you should step up, and I think you should apologize. So this happened like a week before. Now I've had multiple conversations over the years like that, but not quite like that. I said, I think you should step up, and I think you should apologize. And so here, fast forward a week later, I get on my session with Kristine, and the higher guides come in, they bring in my dad, and it was kind of like, hey, I'm sorry, forgiveness. And, I wasn't quite equipped with, some of the tools that helped me do this or that. And so I found that quite profound. Now, I've also found for me personally, when I am really in tune with my higher self and my realm, I am not emotional about things. It's very matter of fact. So I didn't get teary-eyed over this. I didn't get, oh my God, let's look at what I didn't get any of that. I didn't get any excitement. I didn't get any teary-eyed. It was so matter of fact, like, thank you, appreciate that, because I know that my guide team's always going to give me what it is that I need, and what I've requested just might not be in my timing. But going through someone like Kristine, who brings in things for you, it astounded me, because I was kind of like, wow, that was perfect timing. And then we kind of went into energetic frequencies regarding receiving, right? And that's something I've worked on. It's always so easy to give to someone else, but yet when you give, you still want to receive. Yours was the best. It was great, all that stuff, right? But when you're a giver, you're not necessarily the best receiver. So I've worked on that throughout my life. And I think what came up this time was just the receiving of money, like, and my nonchalant way, like, that's okay, whatever works, and I'll always be provided for, to more or less, let's clear that, let's own it, let's take it, you deserve it, because that's what the universe always wanted for you. There, release the stigma of, oh, I'll be all right kind of thing, to I am all right, and this is what I like, and this is what I desire, and then see it, feel it, see it, sense it again, see it, feel it, see it, sense it, until it really becomes a reality within your physical and your mental mind. So those are just a few things that we touched on that I found amazing. And you also let me know that it would take 6-7 days for things to acclimate and calibrate and all that, and I allowed that to happen. And then I didn't even realize it, but almost like a week later, I woke up in the morning and it was like things were more together, like a more grounded, less, in the energy field. And then I went, that something's different. And I recognized we were at about the 7th day. And so anybody out there who is looking for someone to give them a reading that is expected and unexpected, I would make a session with this beautiful lady.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I never know what's going to come through or how it's going to come through until I really sit down with somebody.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about other things, but
Agenda.
those were the main points that I wanted to share. But it was the dad thing that's like, is you don't think about someone who's physically here coming through to you, right? You don't think of that often. And so our higher consciousness is always working on our behalf. And that was a prime example of that. Because again, my dad's across town, sitting in a recliner watching a game, right? I'm thinking, anyone who doesn't understand this world doesn't realize that there's a whole other consciousness that's communicating every which way and calculating and strategizing and releasing and understanding, not just this, mechanical avatar that we call our body.
And when you channel, you can pick up information from anywhere. And I find it always often is helpful to talk to somebody still in the physical body, because then the conversation deepens or the situation changes. The way you feel about it happens. Your dad said he needed to hear the word step up. He heard it a little differently.
Yeah.
Oh, I have something now I need to do about this. I can't just feel bad about it. I have to actually do something. So your phrasing is what hit him. And then guidance says we have to watch our words. Why do we use aggressive words like hit him? Why can we just say it was received by him? That's a more accurate term. Hit is still aggressive. It's the old paradigm we're leaving behind. So they're always catching me and giving me suggestions on how to make my language more accurate. But no, I appreciate being able to work with you.
It's amazing. I look forward to getting a session again down the road, because we're always evolving and changing. And then now maybe another platform for me to step up on. I might need to know about some other things to stabilize. So before we can strengthen, we have to stabilize. So we're in this quivering energy 24/7. So we need as much stabilization, which goes back again to what you just channeled, is the physical body needs paid attention to. And getting ourselves in posture correction is what I just heard. So we're releasing, and it's interesting too. I've asked for a couple of years to go back pre-injuries. And so as I'm kind of unwinding the body, I'm like, ow, this hurts worse than I think the original injury. But that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the musculoskeletal cellular body is wringing itself out of things that no longer serve it, because they're a distraction. They're heavy weight.
Yeah. We can't evolve with all that old baggage and the clunkiness of the body. The body gets pretty clunky, and it will start to release things, according to maybe the most mild at first. Everybody has a different system. Sometimes I see people releasing the really heavy duty stuff that's really, embedded. And other people are like, I'm just gonna take the little taste first. I'll start chunking away. So the way we unweave works for according to everybody what's best for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I want to personally thank you for
Yeah.
all that you do and the fact that you walk your walk and live your talk and have been able to be a pioneer,
As are
you
you.
know, thank
Yeah.
you. And through rough terrain to get to where you are,
Mhm.
because there haven't been many mentors and teachers out in our realm.
Yeah.
So we've had to learn freestyle, which is not always easy because it takes maybe a little bit longer to get to answers. And it's the visceral road traveled because it feels like a punch in the pants
Yes.
many times, hit on the head. But thank you so much for doing what
Oh,
you do. And I cannot wait to have you on again and bring forth, more messages from the teams.
yeah. Oh, they're always so happy to be here. And I'm thrilled and grateful and delighted that, we've made our acquaintance a few months ago and this relationship
Yes,
will continue as it continues with all your listeners. And yeah, it's just a wonderful time to be here.
it is.
Thank
It
you so much.
is.
Full of gratitude for
I'm
you.
enthusiastic about every day,
Yeah.
even if it takes me 5 minutes to get off the floor.
Well, yeah, I'm working on that, getting off the floor, chase those grandkids. But yeah,
Yeah,
so it's not as,
exactly. All right, well, stay put for a second, but say goodbye to all the viewers. Bye, everybody.
bye bye. Thank you.